These are the incredibly beautiful Tatra Mountains of Poland. Hey there, good morning. Today is Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Currently 63 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 17 degrees Celsius. What a gorgeously beautiful sunny day it is here in Zakopane in the Tatra Mountains of Poland. It's definitely feeling warmer than 63 degrees, but probably it will be warming up a bit with that brilliant sunshine up there. So first thing, I am wearing something that is going to surprise a lot of people. Shoes. It's been a while. I bought these in Kathmandu, Nepal for 12 bucks, as I mentioned in another video. They started falling apart right away. The soles started coming off while I was on my trek the first day, and so I super glued them and that did the trick. So for now they are still working, and so we shall see how long they last. But finally, after 6 weeks of hauling them around, I'm making use of them, although I'm wondering if I'm going to regret having worn them if I get too hot and wish that I had sandals on. But whatever, we got to justify hauling these around in my backpack. So this is actually my second full day here in Zakopane. Arrived 2 days ago by train from Krakow. I only spent one night there because I had been there before, and so I didn't mention this in the last video, but in continuing the theme of the crazy day of flying, getting from Sicily, Italy to Katowice, Poland, in which my flight was delayed multiple times, then the train yesterday was delayed. Not too bad though, but we left the station, went like 2 minutes, and then it stopped and just sat there for maybe 30 minutes or something, and then slowly went back to the station. And so I thought, great, this train is broken. We're all gonna have to get off and find another way to get there. But fortunately, after just a couple of minutes, then it started going forwards, and all was well from there. And then took yesterday off from the filming. So the main walking, shopping, restaurant street, Krauski, something like that, is back down that way. A nice and short walk from my hotel there, but I'm going the opposite direction. I found a hike to do. It's a short one. A lot of people are walking in this direction, so maybe it's going to be a popular one. Whoa, I just saw something like a ski jump or something, and then here we have a Ferris wheel. So this was looking like a nice, short, close hike for now, just to stretch the legs. get into the woods a little bit here, and then I'll see about later today and the coming days, but the general plan for today is just to explore around the area near town, get into the town, show the Krauski, whatever it's called, street, and just give you a first glimpse of Zakopane and the beautiful Tatra Mountains. As you can see up there, look at that. It is just so perfect. Amazing green forests, spectacular looking mountains there. And it is a really good time to be here, it seems, with the weather. That was one of the calculations in my coming here now as I checked the weather forecast, and it looked great. So, all right, let's wander and see what we come across. Looks like ski lifts up there, I guess. Wasn't expecting all this. Carnival in town. And look at this. Whoa. Dino Park, huh? Tour Lezhny. So is that a life-size depiction of some kind of a prehistoric beast, or just a big cow? So look at this. Obviously a ski jump or ski competition thing of some sort. Zalaz pod reglami. Tatrazansky Park. So another like animal park. Dolina Bialego. So that is where I was heading for. 20-minute walk, just a kilometer from here, so not far. But let's just poke around for a second. I know that there are cable cars going up the mountains, but I'm not seeing that from here. I'm not even seeing ski lifts, so not quite sure what the deal is, but there sure are a whole lot of snack shacks and beer and tourist gift shops and all kinds of stuff going on here. So I guess it must be busier in the winter. But at least it is busier now than it was in Bansko, Bulgaria when I went there. So Zakopane reminds me a lot of Bansko, Bulgaria, but when I was there in the summer, it was just dead. I mean, it was just an absolute ghost town, to the point that it felt a little strange being there. I'm glad that it is kind of happening here, especially down on the main restaurant street. So this place obviously is both a winter and summer destination. Okay, let's start the walk. Dolina Bialego. Another fun thing to do here in Zakopane would be great to rent a bicycle. We'll see if that happens. So ski lift here. People only coming down, nobody going up. I'm confused. Don't you want to get up the hill on the car and then walk down? But man, this meadow, these trees. It's all just amazingly gorgeous. Another beautiful meadow. So while I walk along here, I'm going to tell a couple of communication breakdown stories. So I can say one thing in Polish, dziękuję. Thank you. The Polish language is definitely very interesting and a lot of it hard to pronounce. So fortunately, then most Polish people seem to speak quite good English. Not everybody by any means, as you will discover in the course of one of these stories. Now the first one is short and quick from last night. So I had dinner down there on the pedestrian street, and the lady there spoke good English. So I ordered these 2 sausages and a little shot of plum vodka, and then some water, and homemade dumplings. So you're seeing the dinner there, but you don't see any dumplings. So what I got instead of dumplings was scrambled eggs. So basically I had breakfast for dinner last night. Oh yeah, and there were potatoes. So sausages, potatoes, and eggs. It was a great dinner. It was all really good. Those sausages and the sauce that came with them were amazing. But I'm confused about what happened with the dumplings. So the menu was in both Polish and English, and so it said local dumplings made in the homemade style, something like that. And so I pointed to that. And then I get this dish with something yellow, and I'm not sure what it is, and it turns out it's scrambled eggs. So I went back and looked at the menu, and I was curious to see, well, was there like eggs listed just above or below what I pointed at, and maybe I just pointed at the wrong thing, or she misunderstood what I was pointing out. But no, in the list of the side dishes, then there was nothing mentioning eggs. So I don't know what happened there. If maybe there was a mistranslation, it came up as dumplings, but it actually meant eggs on the menu, or she misunderstood me, or who knows what. But not a big deal. It was still tasty, but I was curious to try the homemade dumplings. The next story is a bit longer. Let's get ahead of some people here. All right, we got a creek down there. Nice. Oh, now it says an hour and 15 minutes. I guess the, Dolina Białego do Ścieżki nad Reglami, so whatever that means. So maybe the 20-minute walk was just to the trailhead, basically. Anyway, let's wander up here a ways, but I'm going to be hungry in a little bit here, so I don't want to get too far out there. Anyway, so the second language barrier incident occurred back in Krakow 2 days ago. After I recorded that last video and went back to my room, packed up, checked out, and headed for the train station. So 2.5 hour train journey, and I had videos to edit, so I decided to stop in a convenience store in a big mall right next to the train station and get a couple of beers. Or not really a convenience store, it was more of a bigger supermarket, not huge, but medium-sized market. And so I decided to grab a couple of beers for the train ride to sip on as I was watching the views and or editing my videos. Now, fun fact, I discovered that beer is not allowed on the trains, your own purchased beer in Poland. It is in other countries of Europe, but fortunately I asked somebody before I opened it. Okay, let's get ahead of you folks. So, before I knew that your own beer wasn't allowed on the trains, I decided to buy a couple of beers, because you can do that on trains in most countries. So I grab two really good Franzis Gunnar, a Hefeweizen and a Stout, one of my favorite beers. Look at those gorgeous pools, nice clear water. And so there is a self-checkout area. And so I go to scan the beers and pay for them. And at this point I'm very curious if anybody there watching, especially if you are from Poland, can maybe figure out what mistake I made and explain it to me, because I'm very curious. So the computers were only in Polish, unless I missed a button that might have been able to change it to English, but I didn't see one. So I scan the beers and figure out what to press to pay, because there's a, money symbol or a card or whatever. Press on that, and then this screen pops up, and this is where the confusion began. It's in Polish, and it's asking a question, and it was clearly yes or no for the answer. And first of all, I'm not sure what's yes and what's no. And so there was a bit of a line, and it's quite a kind of crowded, hectic area. There are two women at other registers that I guess you could have gone to and paid there, but they are also monitoring the self-checkout area. Because it was so busy, I didn't want to try to get their attention or anything, and so I just picked one. And then it goes to a screen where you have to enter in a number, and I thought that it was quantity, but it wouldn't allow me to select 0. I had to pick a number, and so I went with 1. And so when I select 1, it doesn't display 1, it then displays 0.01. So I guess it was a price. And so I figured, okay, it's 1 cent, whatever this is. Maybe I'm buying a bag, or I don't know. And so I just approved that, and then it goes through the payment screen, and I scan my card and get a receipt and start walking away. And then I hear one of the ladies like yelling, like, hey, she's obviously saying like stop or whatever. And so I look back, and she's like all kind of pissed off and like acting like, what are you doing? Except it's all in Polish. And so I go back, and then she's like pointing at like some baskets or something, and she's saying like, basically she's saying like, you did such and such, whatever the such and such was. And that's what I'm really confused about, is what did I do in that selection on that screen? And so she's acting like it's a big pain in the butt, whatever it is, and she drags me back to the machine, and maybe there was something that I missed, or she does it again or something. We don't scan the beers, but she does something and then basically says pay again. And so I do the card, and then I get a receipt again, and apparently that does it, and then I leave. So that's it, that's what happened. But what the heck was all the hubbub about? What could that have been that I selected that was such a pain in the butt to her, apparently? One thing is, I'm wondering if when I scanned my credit card the first time, maybe I paid for that 1 cent thing and thought that I paid for the beers, and so she was pissed off because she thought that I was like trying to get away without paying for the beers or something like that. And then that's why I had to go back and actually pay for the beers, because that other thing was separate. I don't know, but anyways, communication breakdown. All right, so this trail is going and going, but I wasn't really planning on a 2-hour hike, hour there, an hour back, plus the 20 minutes we already did before that. So I guess I'll just go a little bit further and see if things open up and I get some sort of a view. Well, I'm rapidly heating up and kind of wishing I'd worn my sandals. I will stop and change into them when I head back down. But man, oh man, this hike is just glorious. And getting steeper. So this trail meets up with another trail that's going this way, and then it looks like there might be a viewpoint up there. So let's try to get up there at least, get a view. And so it looks like this is the point at which we will go right. I guess that trail is actually blocked off. So I was wondering if this hike might be going to a lake. Looked on the map and didn't see one. Some of these hikes definitely do go to lakes. A mountain swim would sure be nice. So I will definitely plan to get to a lake at some point. And also there are swimming pools, like a whole complex, at least 2 of them in Zakopane. So probably go to one of those as well. So I booked 5 nights at my hotel. So today's the second day, so I have 2 more full days after today. And of course could stay longer. But the plan from here will probably be to head into Slovakia, unless I decide to check out some other Polish towns. But Slovakia is kind of my main destination. This is an intense hike. So I'm wondering and guessing that all the people on the ski lift coming down were maybe the people that did this hike. Do the hike up and then take the chairlift down. Makes sense? Even though it makes a little more sense to take the chairlift up and then hike it down. But I guess the Polish people are active. Certainly seems like it. A lot of different activities going on around here. And lots of other people on this trail. Families, kids, older people, etc. Man, this is one of the most intense hikes ever. Just relentless uphill. But I see what looks like a clearing, so maybe that is indeed a viewpoint. Alright, so we're in the sun now, kind of opening up, but not seeing an actual viewpoint yet. Look at that sky. Not a cloud. Now it's going down. I wonder if you get a view on top of this thing. Huh. Let's investigate. no trail at all, so that's not a good sign. Okay, sort of a trail here. And no trail again, but that looks like the top. And that looks doable. There's no trees on it, so it could be a viewpoint. Yeah, this is looking very promising. All right. Well, not quite the view that I was hoping, because these trees are right in the way. But whoa, there we go. Getting some perspective. Looking back that way at least. Intense. Nice. Wow. So where is that trail going that so many people are hiking up it? Maybe over that pass up there, but I wasn't planning on an all afternoon kind of a hike, so I think that is going to do it. I can see the trail down there and tons of people on it. Whew. All right. We are in the mountains. The real deal. Oh. Boom. I see lots of people standing on that rock right there. But man, I am really not in the mood for doing that right now. That is a lot of uphill. But that is the opposite direction from the cable car, which would be over there somewhere, so I don't know, but it's been a good hike. All right, going to head back down and show you town. So I'm back down at the bottom and walked past this sign without realizing it. So here's a little information. Dolina Bialego means White Creek Valley. A strictly protected area in this picturesque small valley, natural processes are allowed to proceed without human intervention. Tatra National Park. The trail leading to Sarnia Rock is named the Professor Stanislaw Sokolowski Nature Trail. So that must be the rock that I was seeing with all the people on top. It is pretty in spring, that is for sure. The valley close to Zakopane is popular for short walks. A frequented route travels to the Straziska Valley and then up to the Sarnia Rock, 1377 meters above sea level. So I guess that is the White Creek in the White Creek Valley. And so I came from that way to the right, but I think that I can get back to my hotel and town going to the left. Uh-oh, this is going uphill. Let's see if this is just a short little hill or if maybe it's going back up the mountain. And it looks like it is a short hill with a great view of another absolutely stunning meadow, trees, and you can see back up there tons of buildings scattered across that mountain there. There is a lot to see here. But is this actually going back to town? So junction there, trail going that way, this way, this way, getting confusing, but the town is right out there. Here we have, I guess, a house. So just winging it, can't go too wrong here. And we have a car. That might be a good sign as far as an actual road Up ahead. Yep. Oh boy, it kind of seems like somebody's driveway, and we have a dog that isn't reacting so far. Hello. Seems quite friendly. Hi. Okay, well. So far, so good. Boy, that dog was so mellow. Hopefully they didn't get it to be a guard dog. And big, massive building there must be a hotel. Huh. This is a little strange because I'm really close to town right now. But it feels like total country boondocks. But that was the end of the road, so this has to be going back into town. And we have a fence and more buildings. Looks like homes. I like the style. But man, this neighborhood is just so cool. So my hotel is about a 5-minute walk down that way. I took a little break there for a little bit to rest the legs. That was definitely a more intense hike than I was anticipating. I just checked the distance from here, and it is 5 kilometers, about 3 miles up to basically where I turned around on the hike. Here, the creek again, cute bridge, and this is the Krupauki Street. So it goes up a ways that way. I haven't actually walked that direction yet, just this way, but going to head this way again for now and look for a restaurant. So there is a big choice of places to eat and drink and shop. And more, whatever this is. It looks like maybe a theater. Centrum Handelo. But I think that this is going to do it for this video. I am going to look for a place to take a seat, get some grub, maybe get a beer, and get to work editing this video. I have my laptop in my backpack here. So it is about a kilometer or so down to a regular paved cross street at the bottom of the hill, and then there's some more stuff down there, but it is quite a long pedestrian street here. Lots of good looking snacks, street food, ice cream. This is where I ate the first night. So some really classic kind of lodges, Central European style. that is where I ate last night. That is where I had the breakfast for dinner, accidentally. And then the cathedral, I presume. I haven't gone inside yet. But quite amazing. So I guess it's actually a brewery, unless the brewery is somewhere else, but Pils, Hells, whatever, Marco, Miodao, Pizenixny, different types of beer, 100% natural, and a pretty classic place here with the wooden tables and wooden chairs. Alright, let's get one of these. So I guess the brewery isn't here, it's in a bottle. Got the Hells. Okay. Cheers. Oh yeah, that is a good one. That is some good quality stuff there. Alright, time to get to work. So here's the menu. This is the same restaurant that I went to yesterday for dinner. As I mentioned, the scrambled eggs situation. So this is what I ordered. Dumplings in the Highland way. And there's no eggs here in the additions anywhere. So I don't know what happened. Unless one of those words says eggs and it just got translated incorrectly.